Good morning. So the other day I brought my dad's Vanquish S in for the first time in 6 years to get its very first service. So we got oil change, air filter, cabin filter, I think it was brake fluid. There's a whole bunch of stuff that got done to it. It got its 6-year service. While I was there, I happened to notice a few vehicles that kind of caught my eye. One of which Pa's been looking at for a few years now. They've been out for a couple of years. And you guys may or may not know, he drives that Mercedes EQS. He's had that for he's about to start his 3rd year, I think, in 2 months. He's got about 18,000, 20,000 miles on it, so he's gotten some use out of it. He loves the car, but you know, the cycle is coming to an end. 2 years is a good amount of time for us to keep a daily driver. So we're gonna go and pick up the Vanquish and talk with the salesman about the vehicle he may or may not trade the EQS in on. But there's a second vehicle there that I've always had my eye on. Years ago, I saw one driving here in the wintertime. Thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, oh sweet, there's a all-wheel drive luxury badass coupe I can get. Never got one because they're crazy expensive, but they have one. I think it's the last year they'll be producing this engine, but the spec is almost perfect. It's really nice, actually. So we're gonna see if we can make a deal. Might trade the EQS and the SL63. He's not in love with that car. The old SLs with the hard top versus the canvas top. I don't know, they're just different, I guess. We've always had SLs and back to the SL600. And great cars, but if he were to get rid of any one of them, it'd be that one. Might trade the EQS, the SL on the SUV he's looking at. That probably gives it away. It might be a good time for him to sell the Vanquish. However, I don't think I think the values have just tanked on those things in the last 2 years. So I'm not sure what kind of trade value he's gonna get for that. We'll find out though. And I told him if he does trade the Vanquish S, he's gotta get the new one. New one's being announced here any week, I think. Next month, something like that. Pretty soon. It's got a brand new V12. My dealer that I got the Vantage on order from said he went and actually saw the vehicle, and it's really quite badass. So anyway, I told him if he gets rid of the Vanquish, he has to replace it with another Vanquish, so we'll see. Alright, this is one of these things about trading in for. Look at this thing, badass.
Sorry,
I was like, alright, I know I'm not that crazy.
I thought it was as quiet as the EQS.
okay.
We test drove the 707. This thing's a badass ride. Of course, you get right on interstate here, 394, and a damn dump truck comes up and kicks a rock at it. So it's got a nice little rock chip right away. That's great. But what do you expect? It's got 200 miles on it already, so the dealership has taken it to a few car shows, or salesman has taken it home. This is a possible addition. It's a lot smoother than I thought it would be. It sounds badass. Looks sweet as hell. Let's see what they can work on for numbers. Now we're looking at this GT Speed over here. I like this car a lot. We're in the upper part of Maury's. This is Illuminite Silver. This is the color Vantage that I got coming in. Yeah, this is gonna be so badass. Really highlights the shadows and the shape. Yeah, a number of nice cars up here. There's Turbo S over there. There she is. Look at this. Yeah, it's a good looking ass. Oh, I love those wheels. I wonder if that's what I got. I don't think it is. Look how good that front end looks. Damn. I might want to change my build color. I don't know if I can. The Illuminite, I don't know, it has a little bit too much champagne for me, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna take a closer look. Nah, this looks great. I think it's these lights that might be giving it a different hue. Maybe. I don't know. I gotta see it outside, I think. Whew. Can't wait. A few more months, boys. You can hear that. This thing sounds good. Okay, it's a couple hours later. I got the Vantage. No, got the Vanquish back. I'm heading to the toy box right now because I have a delivery here in about 20 minutes. I teased this a few videos ago. I got a good deal on it. It's the last year made. I was looking at other versions similar to this, and I have a deposit down, but I'm getting my deposit back on an Italian version of it, so I wanted to kind of save a little bit of money. As if buying a car is ever saving money. Also working on trade numbers, might be doing like 5 for 2. I filmed that Continental, might be getting that and that DBX 707. Might use this as an opportunity to get rid of my dad's EQS, the SL, which he's not just again, I think I said earlier, he's just not in love with. It's not like the old SLs with the hard shell, the hardtop convertible, I mean. To get the Continental, it makes sense just to trade in the S65. You know, that thing's, poor little goose. That thing is 8 years old at this point. Perfect shape, low miles, has like 1,800 miles. He was thinking about trading this in, but he's gonna keep it. And I'd probably trade my bike just to kind of save him some tax money. What else is there? Oh yeah, my mom, she has a 2020 GLC 63S SUV, not the coupe back SUV, but the normal back. And since she's bought it, she has not been a fan of how it drives. It's very snappy. You know, it's a very tiny SUV, and it's got a big, I think that still has the 6.2. Pretty sure it does. Maybe not. I don't remember when Mercedes got rid of their 6.2 and went to the 5.5. It's got a lot of power for a little vehicle, and it's really quite snappy for her. And I've driven it too, and it's hard to explain. You know, you step on the throttle, something like this, you know, dial shift, and you'll get that gradual acceleration. That thing, I don't know, the shift points are quite brutal on it. It's not a comfortable car. So she's been talking about getting rid of that for, well, probably the last like 3 years, almost right when she got it. And so she might be getting something like she's not like my dad and I. She doesn't really care about cars. She says that now, but she'll want something nicer if she does get this. But she's looking at a, what is it, a Chevy Trailblazer, the RS trim, which is, I think their top trim, but loaded, those things are, what, 32,000, something like that. It'll be different for her. So I might be trading those 5 vehicles in on the 2, and then just buy a Trailblazer for her. But we'll see. Anyway, heading there now. Driver should be there in the next 15 minutes or so, and we'll see what this thing looks like. It just got here. That's right, T-Pain. Yeah. Guys, here you go. Here she is. Boom, another R8. Sick. Look at that ass. Damn, that's how the valve's closed too. Nice. Looks good. This is from Zimbrick.
Sounds really good too.
Yeah. It's from Zimbrick Audi. They're out in Madison, Wisconsin. There's only a few that I could find still in the States that were available.
Let's go for a ride. You film out right.
I like his accent. You got T-Pain in the background checking it out. Sweet, no front plate either. There you go, Dave. Oof, here she is, boys. Looking good. I'll do a more in-depth video of it when I wash it. Hopefully, shoot, I don't know if I can do it this weekend. I'll try to. I got a paintball event on Sunday that it's going to throw a wrench in the plans, but this is set to be wrapped and tinted next week. Damn, I love this car. This is Daytona Gray. This is a very high spec one. The rear wheel drive, for those who don't know, so Audi's owned by the Volkswagen Group, who owns, you know, like Audi, even like Lamborghini. So the Huracan is basically one of these in a Lamborghini shell, of course modified and different tweaks and tuned differently, obviously. And that's the car that I was trying to get for a long time, but I couldn't find a dealership that was willing to sell at MSRP, you know, a low miles, good condition, because you can't get them new now anymore. They're all asking like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 over. This thing I was able to get $7,000 off. It was basically free delivery. And I think they had it for a while. These things are just not selling as much as they should, I think. So it's I said in my other video, R8 is a very underrated car. It's a badass car. This is one of the more higher option ones that I could find. They had some, you know, with the all-wheel drive, with the wing and everything that I like, but you know, we have one of those already. And this is one that my dad and I own together. And I don't like to put necessarily, even though we do own together, I don't necessarily like to put a ton of miles on the cars that him and I own together, because it's not just my car, and I wanted to get my own. And this is, the first R8 I had was I'll get more in touch, or more in depth, another video, but I had a black one, I had a gray one, a blue one, that white one, now another gray one. So I've always said the R8 is one of my top favorite cars, and now I have one that's just mine, the rear wheel drive version. A little bit less power than that all-wheel drive, but still looks and sounds just as badass. Give you guys a quick tour. This one is very optioned out. This carbon fiber as the exterior as a option, and the big one on here though is the dynamic handling package. It comes with these ceramic brakes and such, a little more performance. I think these, yeah, you got a gift. I think these bucket seats are part of it too, versus, you know, the nice classy diamond stitch ones. But nice carbon fiber on the inside as well. Alcantara headliner, I see it right here maybe. Yeah, again, we'll go through this here in another video. I wish it had automatic seats. I hate manual seats. It looks ugly. Look at that. My only gripe on this car, and I almost didn't buy it because of that. What do you guys think of this? Awesome looking. Love it. Sounds great. I gotta head back to work. We got 78, which was supposed to be done this week. It probably won't be. Joining the Corvette collection here this week, hopefully next. Same thing with the 3100. Working on the, I hear Pa. Yes, Pa's on the cameras. Weirdo. I won't know more about the Bentley and the Aston for maybe a couple days, so we're gonna try to trade, like I said earlier, 5 for 1. So I'll end this here as always. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.